Hi Ladysmith and area friends, I'm Tammy from Ladysmith Parks Recreation and Culture, and today's Kid-solation creation we are going to be making some bike clickers and some tassels for your handlebars, and we're going to be adding some fun things to our spokes to deck out our bike for Wheelin Week. So the things that you're going to need to have today to get this accomplished, to trick out your bike, are you need some scissors, some painter's tape, old cards, old hockey cards, playing cards, whatever you have that are fairly stiff cards that you can tape to the frame of your bike to click on your spokes. Some straws, plastic straws that we are going to use for our spokes. And I have a basket full of all sorts of ribbon, ribbon for wrapping paper, wrapping presents, soft ribbon, all sorts of different bits and pieces. Anything that you can make into a long kind of tassel and tie off. And I also have some really cool shiny beads that we can use to put on the top or on the bottom to make a little extra clicky noise. You're gonna want some elastic bands because that's how those tassels are gonna get held onto your handlebars. And that's about all the supplies you need. So today we are going to start off making our tassels for our handlebars, and then we are going to bring the bike in and add the things on the spokes and the card to make the rev sound on our bike, and then we'll take it outside and show you how it all looks. All right, here we go. So my daughter's been kind enough to let me use her bike for this adventure, so I'm gonna pick some colors that I know she kind of likes, and we're gonna go from there. Oh, I lost that one. Okay, some colors, some iridescent, and a little bit of this. Okay, those off to the side for now. So I have some, this is just, I'm not sure how well it'll work, but we'll give it a try. It's just kind of iridescent-y, and it's just the stuffy stuff in Easter baskets, but I'm not sure if it's long enough. So I'm gonna leave it to the side as a last resort, but it was something that I had that looked shiny and cool. But I do have some cool ribbon. So I'm first of all gonna start off, this is gonna be my first ribbon, and it's brand new. So I have to cut the plastic. So you got to decide how long you want your tassels to be. They can be short, they can be long. Long's kind of fun because then they blow in the wind. So I'm gonna just pick kind of a good length that doesn't look like it's gonna get, and I'm gonna cut a few pieces here of the ribbon. And we're gonna make two tassels, one for each side of her bike. So we're gonna double everything that we do. Okay, so 1, 2. This is just a fun ribbon from a birthday present. And I just take the staple off. I can get it out. Oh, it's stuck. Take the staple off, and then you can actually break it apart and stretch it out. And it's kind of cool too. So we're gonna save 2 for here, and we're gonna do 2 for the other side too. And 2 for this side. And let me do a little funness here. 1. Now you can get as crazy or as low key as you want, depending on what you like on your bike and how sparkly you want it to be. I can get 2 out of this. There we go. Perfect. And I'm going to lightly curl my ribbon. Wrong-handed. There we go. Where's the end? There it is. Just going to flatten it out so that it's not so, and then I'll curl it in a sec. So there's one length, that'll work. I'm not sure that'll be close enough. all I'm doing is trying to get a few loose curls here, but this ribbon doesn't seem to want to curl very well at all. So, well, it's okay. I'll do it to this one too. There we go. That's better. This is something that if kids are helping you do this, grown-ups, you probably want to do this because we don't want anyone to cut their thumbs on the scissors. Okay, and then purple. Use some of this really shiny color here. I like this one. Okay, and again, I'm gonna give it just try to do a little bit of soft curliness. Well, I got it a little bit curlier than I thought, but that's okay. There we go. Okay. What colors do I have? Blue, light blue. Make a couple more pieces of this. Okay. So how I'm going to put these together is I'm going to layer my tassels like this. Over my finger, so I have everything how I want it to be. And I'm going to stick the ribbon that I have on the outside, and I'm going to stick anything that's kind of a curly Q or spirally ribbon on the inside. Okay. I have this nice silver kind of tie that I'm going to use to, first of all, quickly tie it off together. And I'm going to double knot that like so. I'm going to trim those off. And then I have my, oops, that slid funny. There. Okay, so I kind of have my streamer for one side here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my elastic band and I'm going to put it through the bottom underneath, so it's underneath there. And then I'm going to take my other end of my elastic band and I'm going to poke it through the top here. So that is the tassel that's ready to go on my bike. And then this part here will wrap around my handlebar on my handle grip so that this will stream on the end. So I'm going to put the other one together right now. Do a little piece of this. Perfect. If I had a whole bunch of more longer, shinier ribbon, I would make a whole bunch of longer, shinier ribbon. And definitely make it probably thicker, but I think this is gonna look pretty cool and it'll blow in the wind pretty well anyway. So we'll give it a whirl and see how it looks. But your design for your bike is completely and totally up to you. So if you want some curly Qs or don't want curly Qs, you could have left the ribbon without curling it. Unfortunately, my ribbon had a lot of kinks in it, so the curls made it look nicer. All right, tie this one off. Double knot and trim the ends. So again, double knot nice and tight. You could also just use another piece of ribbon to do this. I'm just using this shiny silver stuff because I had it and it looks like it works well. And then take my elastic band, again, put it underneath where you tied your knot, poke one end of the elastic band through the other, and line it up over top of where you put that. Give it a really nice tug. And there you have a tassel for one side of your bike. And the other thing that we're going to do today, which we talked about for the spokes, is I have a whole bunch of plastic straws. Get all these things out of my way. I might actually, before we go to the plastic straws, we're going to put I'm going to take a bead and put it on our, maybe we'll put a bead on if they don't all escape on here. We'll pour some out. There we go. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take this and I'm going to take, I have these really cool shiny star beads. I'm going to take a purple one and I'm going to fish my elastic through the bead like this. And I'm going to slide it down to the top of my elastic where it's really nice and tight. Pull it tight on top there so that I have a cool bead on my tassel at the top. And then I'm going to leave that like that. Ready to go, and I'm going to do the same for the other. And these are just craft beads, so they have a nice big hole in them, not a small one. Pull it down nice and tight. Now it's ready to go. So I'll set these to the side. So what we're going to do with the straws here is, so I have different size straws. These are milkshake straws or smoothie straws. These ones are apparently bubble tea straws. I had a random package of those. I have some straws left over from when you could get straws at the store when you went for takeout. And then I had a package of these really old straws that we've had kicking around for crafts for a really long time that are they're really quite tough and they're really thin. But so what we're going to do is kind of make a design for the spokes. So I know the color of my daughter's bike and I know what color she likes, but so what we're going to do is we're going to cut about 2 inches and eyeball it is fine, and you're going to cut the straws off so that you have little pieces like this. They can be smaller if you want. Approximately 2 inches or 1 inch is fine. I'm going to cut them, and these ones are the bubble tea straws, so I'm going to cut that really pointy part off the end, and then that will just be recycling. Okay. So now I have a bunch of blue. And I'm going to do some of the pink. One straw is much thicker than the other. Okay, and some pink. I think I'm going to do green. I might do some white. Okay, so these ones are, I'm not sure if these are going to fit over the spokes, so we'll try them out and see if they work. If they don't, then you definitely may want straws bigger than these. But we'll give them a try. So the idea is we want to cut these to the inch or 2 inches, and the idea is we're going to slip them and then we're going to stick them on our spokes. And what they'll do is when our bike's parked, they'll slide down our spokes, and when we ride, they'll slide to the outside on our spokes. It looks kind of fun. It's kind of a fun way to decorate them too. For the grown-ups out there, I don't know how many of you did this when you were kids or decked out your bike or used playing cards, but it's kind of fun. The playing cards, when we hook them on, kind of rev up the bike and make it sound like a well, some YouTube videos tell you Harley Davidson, some just tell you some of them sound like a dirt bike. So we're gonna see how it works. So you want to take each one of your straws, you want to take your scissors, and you want to split your straw. So you're gonna cut right down the length of your straw because you need to be able to put that on your spokes. So we're gonna cut them all. They snap in a lot tighter once you cut them, especially these big bubble tea ones. So we're cutting the length of all of our straws. Oops, that one's done. That one's done. see if we can get this. Oh, we can get the scissor to go down these straws. Not very well though, so it's a little bit harder to cut these ones. Just do a couple of these and see how they work. They're hard to cut because they're so small. Scissors work better. Oh yeah, a little bit better. If you have really pointy scissors and your straws are really small like these old ones that I have, definitely it will be a lot easier. I just couldn't find my really pointy craft scissors to make this work today. So I'm going with what I had. It's up to you how you deck out your bike or what you do. I know that girls like to have tassels and things on their spokes. Boys might just think it's really cool to have the card on there to make some noise, just for fun, for something to do. All right, one more blue one, and I think we have enough to do our spokes. Oops. Okay, those are hard to cut. Okay, so I have quite a few to go on the spokes. Now we have just a hockey playing card. It's fairly stiff. I also just have I had a random deck of cards that are like just normal everyday playing cards. They're older playing cards and they're paper ones, so they're not super hard, but I think if I stuck two together, they'd be a little bit tougher. Two's a little bit tougher. You don't want them to be super flimsy because then they're just gonna bend. And these were Christmas ones that I had for a long time. You're definitely gonna wanna be using, this is just green painter's tape or masking tape or the blue painter's tape. That way if you choose to take it off your bike, it's not gonna leave a whole bunch of really sticky, icky stuff all over the bike that you're gonna have to clean off later. Because the cards will eventually wear out, or if the bike gets left out in the rain and it's a paper card, then it will wear out as well. So if you have plastic playing cards that you're missing a card and the deck's kind of wrecked, then those are great cards to use as well. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a breather for a second. We're gonna get the bike here and we're gonna deck out our bike, and then we'll take it outside and try it out. So I'll be right back in a minute with a bike that we can hook all this on. All right, the bike's inside and we're ready to get going. So I'm gonna start off with how we put the things on the spokes. We cut our straws apart so that we can roll them out. You're just gonna pick a spoke and you're gonna snap your straw around your spoke. So I'm gonna go every couple of spokes here, kind of do a design. Let's move the bike a little bit and turn our tire. All right, there we go. You can make a pattern, you can do whatever you like. I'm just gonna try and go over a few spokes here with blue. I'm not sure if I cut enough. And you just snap them on. Oh, I did, just about enough. Okay, and then I have the pink ones. I'll put those opposite. So you just peel open your straw and then let it go once you have it on the spoke. And they're on. This is the easy part, super easy for kids to be able to do. All right, we have our super skinny ones. I'm gonna try and put a few of the white ones on. I'm not sure if they're gonna fit around our spoke, but we're gonna give it a try. They're definitely harder to peel open, so I'm probably gonna have to start at one end and then slide it on the spoke. definitely these little straws are a lot harder to get on the spokes. So if I was leaning to get my kids to decorate their own bike and have it ready for them to put on, I'd be leaning towards bigger straws. Some glue. But I think we'll stop there. I think we've got quite a few on the spokes. Might put these bigger ones on here just for fun. Back here, just to have a few more flying around on the spokes, because they're easy to put on. Maybe one more over here. It's a lot of pink. Okay, next I'm going to show you how you take your tassels and put them on your handlebars. So I'm just going to turn the bike's handlebars again. So you want to take your elastic band and you want to put it over the handlebar, and then you want to pull up to your bead so that you're pulling the elastic on top. You want to twist it over and then tuck it back down. And you want to make sure that it's at the end of the handle grip and that it's not going to be bothering where they put their hand on the handle grip. So I'm just going to turn our tire again. We can check on the other side. So again, you're taking your elastic, where my bead is, I'm putting it down the bottom and I'm pulling that bead part up tight, twisting over my elastic band, and then folding it back down. And that should hold it plenty tight enough on your handle grips. So there's your tassels. All right, next we have to put our noise makers, and I'm gonna do those on the back of the bike back here. So again, you need your cards, your tape, and your scissors. Move the bike up a little bit. Make sure it doesn't roll off our table. So these parts here are where you're gonna attach your noisemaker. I'm gonna put one just on the side closest to me, and I might put another one on the front. I don't wanna put one that's possibly gonna interfere with the chain so that there's no issues when my kids are riding the bike. So again, I have a playing card. This is just a hockey card that my son wasn't worried about having. You wanna make sure that your card pokes into the spokes so that it's actually being flicked by the spokes. And then for these, you're just gonna take the card and you're just gonna bend it a little bit. So kind of make a curve so that it goes around that frame portion of your bike. You're gonna take some tape. Okay. I'm gonna take the tape and I'm going to tape it. First of all, trim the end off so it's nice and square. I'm going to tape some of it around where I want my card to be. Trim off the other end. Oh, it's stuck. And I'm just going to tape it around where I want my card to be. So all I've done is kind of made a base to stick tape onto tape. It tends to stick a little better that way. Then I'm going to take another piece of tape. If your tape peels properly, mine just ripped. Okay. Now, so I have my card and it's, again, we just bent the end of it a little bit so that it's kind of curved like this. My tape's tucked to itself. I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to put my tape on the outside of my curve of my card. Then I'm going to stick my card through. I'm going to take my tape up and around first, because I think I have too much tape, but that's okay. Stick it around here. Okay. Now I have my card into my spokes. I'm going to take one more piece of tape. You don't have to put the tape on the bottom. I'm just putting the tape down there so that it holds it on really nice and tight. So I'm going to take this piece of tape and I'm going to run it along the frame of the bike, holding that card in that flat position stuck into the spokes so that it makes the noise. So what's going to happen when I spin the wheel of the bike? That's the sound we want to hear. but we want to make sure that that card's not going to fall off. We also want to make sure that the card's not going to interfere with the chain on the bike. So I'm going to do 2 more at the front of the bike here, just so we have a really noisy bike. I don't know if my daughter's going to want to ride her bike when I'm done, but she told me I could borrow it, so here we are. So this one I just have 2 playing cards. I'm going to actually tape my playing cards together because they're not as stiff as the hockey card. So I'm just going to actually attach them together and kind of double stack it just so that I get a tougher card. Plus we're going to put the Christmas on the inside rather than the outside. So all I've done is tape the bottom together, and again, I'm going to take that part where I just taped together and I'm going to give it a good bend, like so. So you want your card to be bent, okay? Taking another piece of tape. Okay. And again, we're going to take that and we're going to make sure it's going to stick into our spokes, and that it's away from the brake, so it's not going to hurt the brakes. This is really, this part of her bike is fairly thick around, so I'm just going to put this tape under here, wrap it around again, and stick it in the spokes here. And then I'm going to take, again, like I did on the back, 1 more piece of tape. And that piece of tape is going to run along over top of the card and tape it down to the frame of her bike. So kind of lengthwise versus around. And I'm just going to tape it down here. So again, we lift the front. She's got another noisemaker on the front, and she's got her straws on her spokes. So there's a fun way to deck out your bike. We have tassels that we didn't have before. We have cool things on our spoke that as we ride, they're gonna fly out. And we have 2 noisemakers on there. If I had blue tape, I would use it because it would probably look prettier than the green, but unfortunately all I had is green, and it's really fun. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take the bike outside, and I'm gonna let my son volunteer to ride it around. And we're gonna let you hear how it sounds and let you see how it looks with someone on the bike with all the extra bling that we put on there. So remember, have fun, be creative. We'll see you outside for seeing how the bike goes. See you soon. All right, here we are for the test run with all of our awesomeness on our bike, and our bike's been totally tricked out. We have tassels on our handlebars, we have plastic to fly around on our spokes, and we are going to rev like a dirt bike. It's going to be great. So Robert's on his sister's bike, and he's going to show us some stuff. He's going to do some ride around. Get some speed. For being my test rider and listening to all the noise. I hope you have fun using the things that I've taught you today, how to trick out your bike. It's pretty cool, it's pretty noisy. It's a way to wake up your neighbors, or cheer for our healthcare providers and our first line workers during all of this. Have fun, everybody. #isolation recreation. See you soon.